It is the morning drive. You're with me, Bhairavi, only on 89.1 Radio 4. Into the final hour of the show. And aaj, as I've already told you, aaj hota hai World Finance Day, which is why I've got a very special lady in the studio with me, Meeta, who is a wealth coach, a finance professional with over 30 years of experience, and the founder of Moola for Women. Love that name. Thank you for coming down to the studios. Welcome to the show, Meeta.
Thank you so much, Bhairavi, and so excited to be here. Thank you.
Same, because it's all about the money, the moolah. And literally, Meeta walked into the studio and हमारे सवाल शुरू हो चुके हैं कि कितना पैसा is a lot of paisa? How much should we save? When should we start saving? So let's talk about savings versus investment. Is it the same thing?
Very, very good question, Bhairavi. So it all begins with savings, right? If you don't have savings, what will you invest? So a lot of people ask me that, whenever women come to me, they'll say, I want to invest my money. And I said, have you started saving?
Yeah.
And they say, no, not really. I said, do you have an emergency fund? No, not really. So, it's very hyped. I think investing is extremely hyped and we all want to invest and grow our money. But I think what is very, very important is to start filling your bucket with your savings, and then gradually, of course, investments will happen.
So, okay, when you speak of savings, it means, so for instance, if I have a salary of 10,000 dirhams, ideally, how much should I be saving?
So at least 20%.
At least 20%, that's 2,000, right?
Yes.
My math is horrible. So that's 2,000 dirhams.
Yes.
So once 2,000, I accumulate that 2,000 over a year is when I think about investing?
So it actually depends on each person. So the way it works is that you should know what your expenses are in a month. And let's assume that you're earning, like you said, 10,000 dirhams and your expenses are 3,000 dirhams in a month. So you should have at least 3 to 6 months of your expenses in a bank account as an emergency fund, which you should be able to withdraw as soon as you need it, right?
Emergency fund. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yes. So if it's 3,000 is your expenses, then at least 9,000 and good to have would be 18,000 at least stashed in your in form of a fixed deposit or any other form of investment, which is easily retrievable. So that's important.
Which is your emergency fund, right?
Yes. And after that, you can, of course, start investing.
Now, what is the right age? Everyone talks about a specific, or, you should start early. But how early can one start? Is there an age at all?
As early as possible.
Yeah.
Right. So even if you start, if parents can begin investing for their kids the moment they're born, that's the most beautiful thing that can happen to kids.
The moment they're born.
Yes, absolutely, because of the power of compounding. And Warren Buffett actually started investing at the age of 9. And he's probably 90 plus now.
Yeah.
So can you imagine how much his money would have grown over so many years? So earlier the better.
The earlier the better. In fact, it's a good birthday gift as well, right?
Absolutely. In fact, I actually know of someone who started investing for their kid when the kid was born, and then when he turned 18, they gifted it to him. Very
he was a
nicely.
millionaire. He didn't have to do anything.
Literally.
He was?
Literally.
That is amazing. Now, what are the common mistakes when it comes to, say, wrong? I don't know if wrong investment is the right word, but basically, what are the financial mistakes that we should avoid?
Investing because somebody else has told you to invest. Or, this is a good fund to invest. Why don't you put your money there? Or, I'm investing here. Why don't you also invest? So, those are absolutely no-nos. Because you don't know anybody else's situation. Why are they investing?
Right.
What is the reason for their investing? And like I always give the example of the Cinderella shoe. Just like a Cinderella shoe only fits Cinderella.
Yeah.
Similarly, your investment decisions are very, very tailor-made to what your financial goals are.
Right. So there's a question that's come in for Meeta. My question to the expert, Meeta, is that which is a good instrument to get decent returns here in the UAE? Because we could save here and then convert it to INR with the current exchange rate. Is it possible to get around 3 to 5% returns here in the UAE per annum?
100%. Right? So I think, in fact, today a lot of banks are itself offering 5% as a fixed deposit return. it makes a lot of sense for people who are here to invest their money here because of the depreciation of rupee. And, whenever you're finally returning to your home country, whether it's India or any other place, if you take your money at that point in time, you would have benefited from the depreciation, which would have happened. So your currency is, because it's pegged to the dollar, it's very stable here. And over a period of time, if you invest in any kind of investment instruments, and the good thing about investing from UAE is also the fact that you can invest in the international markets. You can invest in the US markets. You can invest in any other market which you want to invest in. And once you are ready to shift, that's probably the best time to take your money back to India.
Okay. Well, keep your questions coming in because Meeta will be in the studio for the next 20 minutes. We're not letting her go anywhere. We have so many more questions for you. 6889 pe you too can message in your questions, or else Instagram pe jaiye, send me your lambe chode, however detailed you want to be with your questions. Message them to me at Bhairavi Prakash. Morning. Good morning. Bhairavi aapke saath, and with me, I've got Meeta ji. Now, Meeta is a wealth coach. She's the founder of Moolah for Women. We obviously have to get to that part as well, that why should women specifically be focused on saving their moolah, their money? But I want to ask you this question. They say कि जब पैसा is just lying in your bank account, it's, good for nothing because it's not doing you anything. Even though there may be 100,000, 200,000, 500,000. Is that right?
Absolutely, Bhairavi. So the thing is, there is a saying that if you want to continue, would you want to continue to work for money for the rest of your life, or would you want your money to work for you?
The second option.
Right? So if you want your money to work for you, then you don't let it lie in the bank account and you invest it in the right investments so that it starts earning for you sooner rather than later.
So do we invest ourselves, or should we hire someone to invest our money?
Again, a very, very pertinent and a good question. If you understand money, if you know the investment options, if you are financially savvy, then by all means go and invest it yourself. But if you do not, then like you go to a doctor, when you are ill, you go to an expert to help you invest your money because they will be able to find the right options for you after understanding what your financial goals are.
Okay. What is your take on SIPs? Is this a controversial question that I've just asked?
No. So I always get asked this question. And understand one thing, that SIP is systematic investment plan.
Right.
It's a way to invest your money.
Right.
It's not an investment option.
What?
Okay. You are investing your money through a systematic investment plan. That means every month you're taking out 100 dirhams or 1,000 dirhams.
Correct.
And investing in an instrument. Now, what is that instrument? Has to be decided. So which mutual fund or wherever you're putting your money. So SIP is not an investment. It's a way of investing.
But do you recommend it?
100%.
Okay. That's what I wanted to know. Phew. Okay. Now, I was very interested. Now, Meeta was talking about FIRE. FIRE stands for Financial Independence Retire Early. I love the sound of this. Please tell me more.
So yes, this is an acronym which has been floating around for a while now. And like it says, it's a lot of people, both men and women nowadays. Earlier we used to say retirement age is 60, 65 and all of that. But today, the men and women of the world want to retire earlier. They want to retire at 40. They want to retire at 45, at 50 because they want to pursue their passion. They've earned and saved enough and they've had their money working for them. And now they can, choose to do what they want to do. And the thought of retiring early makes you more disciplined, more committed to putting your money and investing it in the right avenues so that you have a goal. Right? So what it does is it helps you have a goal and you say, okay, I want to retire at 45. What do I need to do to make it happen? And then you work backwards and voila, you are at 45, you're free to do what you wish to do. Doesn't mean that you don't need to work. You can still continue to work, but you're not working because otherwise, where will you get your food or where will you get, a place to stay? You need money on a daily basis, right? But that is being taken care of because you have enough investments.
Can you take care of my money? I'm so convinced with her. I'm in awe of what you're saying. But okay, let's get a little serious. You are the founder of Moolah for Women. Now, I want to know, when you approach this financial conversation, is it different when you're talking to a woman versus a man?
Yes, it is. So, traditionally, because of our social conditioning, because of patriarchy and many such things, men are supposed to manage the finances. And because of which they're very comfortable talking about money, because they believe that it's their work, it's their job, they have to do that. Whereas women shy away from talking about money, and they will say, oh, we are being taken care of, somebody else is managing it for us. And even if they're earning. So understand that despite the fact that women are earning today and earning well, they're still depending on their father, their husband, their sons to manage their money. And that's really sad, because money is needed from the day you're born till the day you die.
True.
And yet, such an important part of one's being is being left to somebody else to take care of. And that's the reason a lot of women are anxious, they're fearful, they're stressed, because there's that looming question which is always there in the head: what if? What if something happens to my husband? What if, God forbid, there's something which happens where I have to take charge of myself.
Right.
And I don't know how to do that.
Yeah. So which is why I think for all the women listening, of course, think about savings or think about investment if you haven't already. I do have a question, but I think I'm going to save it for 2 more songs. छोटा सा break लेते हैं. In the meantime, अगर आपके पास भी कोई सवाल है, 6889 पे, let us know whatever your question is. Meeta ji is in the studio. She's going to be here for the next couple of more minutes. So 6889 पे message me all your finance related questions, or else you can also get in touch at on Instagram at Bhairavi Prakash.
Radio 4 World Weather in association with Air Arabia.
It is 39 degrees, Sharjah ka haal. Sharjah se board an Air Arabia flight, and you can go to Almaty. If you like adventure, this is the destination for you. 29 degrees Celsius hai, barishein bhi hongi, right from skiing, skating, rafting, paragliding, jeep tours, horse riding, ye sab aap kar sakte hain. And the best part, well, Air Arabia has you sorted with low fares. Celebrate the morning drive. You're with me, Bhairavi. We're celebrating World Finance Day with Meeta in the studio. She is a wealth coach, a finance professional with over 30 years of experience, and the founder of Moolah for Women. So now progressing from women to couples. Should couples be saving their money together?
Yes and no. So yes, because obviously the goals are common. Right, and it's best if there is transparency between couples and they feel that they're on the same side of the table.
Okay.
For a lot of couples I see, they feel that they're on opposite sides of the table, and because of which they would not be 100% transparent with their spouses about their money. But it makes maximum sense if you're aligned, because I always say 1 + 1 is 11, not 2. So it's really good to save together. However, in my 4 years of Moolah for Women, I've realized that for women in particular, it is very important to have their me money, which is independent of their husbands too. So they need to have their financial security in place, because life happens.
Yeah.
And it's better to be safe than sorry.
Because I know of a lot of, especially I think as Desis, there is this, not trend, but this assumption that after marriage we'll have a joint account. And do you recommend having a joint account?
So I recommend having at least 3 accounts. One is the individual accounts for each. So 1 account for the husband, 1 account for the wife, and 1 for the joint account, which is for common expenses or investments or all of that.
Okay. And when we talk about being financially open, so when you're saving, like when a couple is saving, should it be the same amount of money saved? Or should this also be dependent on how much they're earning?
I would say ideally it makes sense for everybody, for both the partners, to save as a percentage of what they're earning, right? Because traditionally, again, we've seen, because of the gender pay gap, women tend to earn lesser as compared to men. And if it's not, I I think it's not practical for, and I have seen this in the past, and that's why I'm saying that if women have to save equally as the men for the common goals, then it puts a lot of pressure on women. But having said that, I think it to each his own, and the couple has to come up with what is best for them.
Like, I know at my home, we've been saying this as a joke, but mom is the finance minister. Ghar pe, she just like, it's just a thing that that mom is taking care of what, where, kahan, kitna. Like, she'll still sit down with me to this date and she'll be like, where has this gone? Yeah, and I think these are good questions to be asked as well, because you sometimes need to face the music, and especially if it's your mom, fair enough, you don't feel so bad. Like, yeah, okay, lecture me a little. Acha, Irfan ka sawal aaya hai saying, I have a marble business in the UAE. I want to ask ma'am, why am I not able to save? My money is always mostly going out in expenses.
I love that question, Irfan, and that's a question of a lot of people like you, because you know what? We always say that one lands up spending as much as one's earning, and that's why I call it the Moola mantra, SFSL. Save first, spend later. So if you save your money first and then spend the rest of it, you will land up saving. But if you think that you're going to first spend your money for the rest of the things and then whatever is left you're going to save, you'll never have enough left.
So for anybody, this is what I understand from our conversation today. For anybody, you have to start saving some way or the other, and probably start saving with a professional to
Not
make more.
saving with a professional. Saving you have to do on your own. Investing is with a professional.
Matlab invest. Sorry, yes, yeah. Oh God, abhi tak nahi seekhi main. Oh dear. Do you have a message for all the men tuned in?
100%. So I think, like I said, don't be on opposite sides of the table. Get your wives to be equally be a part in the financial decision making of your family, because it's as much for them as for you. And most of you are saving for your wives, and it'll be really nice if your wives are aligned to your goals. They will probably spend less if you make them a part of the financial decision making and give them a seat at the table.
I think it's a great gift idea. Agar abhi tak nahi hua hai, have separate accounts, have individual accounts, and then also have a joint account. That's what I take from you.
Absolutely.
Well, there you go. You can, of course, you are available on Instagram as well, right?
Yes, under hashtag Moola for Women.
There you go, Moola for Women. She's got Moola in the handle, so she will take care of your Moola for sure. Thank you so much for coming down to the studios. This was very informative, and I'm sure our listeners also have, some clarity and probably are reflecting on their decisions as well.
Thank you, Bhairavi. Thank you so much for having me here.
Pleasure. Well, you can catch this conversation on our Insta real soon. That's 891 Radio 4.